GR86 Miata. GR86. I had to roll with the Miata personally. This is my Miata here. Shout out to Toyota for sending me the GR86. But that's not to say that this isn't a car that I wouldn't have purchased, because I would have. In this video, I'm not going to go too much in depth on the driving characteristics of each. I did do a video on that, so go check it out. It's more about the driving. But this video is which car you can live with on the day-to-day basis. Which one should you buy? So this is my 2024 Mazda Miata Grand Touring trim, and this is the premium trim, so it's going to be the fully loaded version of the GR86. Now, I have had a Scion FRS, which is the first generation of what this is now. This is the second generation, and that was actually the first channel car that I had on this channel. Scroll all the way back, you will see it. But so I do have love for this car, but which one is right for you? I'm not going to tell you that. We're just going to go over some of the things that I want to point out so you can make that decision on your own. So the GR86, this is going to be the more powerful car. Got 228 horsepower versus the Miata at 181. And this is going to be the more track-focused car out the box. We got the stiffer suspension, it's very taut. The Miata is going to be more on the soft side. Showing off my latest mod, trunk popper. Let me also pop the trunk on the GR86 over there. Oops, that's the Subaru. There we go. Just now noticing these keys look the same from the Subaru and the Toyota. But the Miata, you can put a couple backpacks in there. It's actually not as bad as you would think it is for a car this tiny. But the GR86, a much larger trunk, and you can fold the seats down. It has back seats in here. That's something the Miata doesn't have. And they built it to where you can put a set of 4 tires in this car with the seats folded down. So for you track day warriors, if you want to put these sets of wheels in the car or whatever other set of wheels, you can do that all in just one car. The Miata, you better drive to the track what you came there with. The interior. So the interior in here is going to be more cramped, quite a bit more cramped than the GR86. So we have this hump intruding the passenger side. And if you got a right-hand drive, somebody let me know if that's on your driver's side. This would be the driver's side. But as far as storage goes in here, there's not a whole lot. We do have a hidden storage behind the seat, so you can hide your whatever you would put back there. I don't know. None of that ain't my business. You don't have a traditional glove compartment. It's just leather wrapped dash. This is what I would consider the glove compartment right there. We do have this armrest where you can put like a business card and a toothpick in. Cup holders, they go in between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And we have this optional space for the passenger side. When I'm driving, I put my bottles over here. But other than that, we don't have space. No pockets in the doors. And we have a place where you can put your phone. It's actually, it works as a phone holder, so that's good. The 86 is going to be much more spacious on the interior. Going to have a great deal more headroom. The back seat, which the Miata doesn't have. You can put a person back here sitting behind me, an amputee maybe. But if you do have to have children riding around, I have my FRS with 2 car seats back here, but that got old pretty fast. But you can, I put a kid behind the kid because one can sit in the front seat now. And with the car seat or a booster seat back here, we can do it. The kids hate it though, but it can be done. And the cup holders in the 86 are ergonomically in the worst place, I believe. It sits where you would rest your elbow. We got this split column right here where you would put a drink, and I think that's just a bad location, but it's got to go somewhere, right? We do have a cup holder in the door. I personally don't like to do that because if I got like a lid from McDonald's and I slam the door, that's going to spray all over the car. You don't want to do that with your microfiber seats. Another thing, the Miata is going to have wireless CarPlay, and this is a very basic. I know the previous FRS, it had like an Alpine branded radio, or was it Pioneer? Y'all remember we used to get head units installed in our cars? This is kind of one of those, but from the factory, and Alpine is local to us here. So we have to, if you want CarPlay, Android Auto, it has to be wired. My seats, we have, since I have the GT trim, I got the leather seats. If you want a more sporty seat, you can get the club trim. You can get an upgraded BBR package, which is the Brembos, the BBS wheels, and the Recaros. Those Recaros are super supportive, but I do find them to be very firm. The seats in the 86, they're stylish and very comfortable. So they do a very good job of being comfortable and holding you in place. A very greatly designed seat. The Miata is going to be a more premium interior. It's just a more upscale car. It's Mazda. That's the way that they're going. The infotainment screen, some people always say they beat a dead horse with this iPad sticking up the screen. Get over that, guys. But it's just more soft touch everything, like leather stitched everywhere. You're not going to find that in the GR86. That's just a bare bones sports car. This is a little more upscale. It's very nice, to be honest. The cluster is going to be more on the basic side. We can customize some things on the far left side of the screen, but it's rather simple. The one in the GR86 is fully digital. But what this one has that the 86 doesn't, it can read traffic signs, so speed limit signs and stop signs, school zones, it can read that. In the 86, they did give us this micro suede cloth going around some parts of the car, and the seats are that way, back seats as well. But this is a very generic looking infotainment screen here. This fully digital dash, it's very easy to read, easy on the eyes, pretty good. But as far as like soft touch everything, it's hard plastic. We got leather stitching on the e-brake here, but everything else is just hard plastic. On the Miata, this touch point where your knee might rest, that's going to be leather wrap. This is just all hard plastic. The 86 isn't going to have home link, or something that does have that the Miata doesn't have. We got adaptive cruise control. They both have cruise control, and this little stick is how you activate it. But this one will actually speed up and slow down depending on who's in front of you. The Miata doesn't do that at all. The Miata does have cool graphics though. When the intrusion is coming on, like when you're coming out of your lane, it does have cool graphics on that, and it's more intrusive in the Miata. Like I see the safety features blare at me more often than in the GR86. It's a lot more relaxed in this car. The 86 is going to come with these Brembos, at least the premium package that we have here. The Miata, as I mentioned earlier, the GT isn't going to come with the Brembos. You're going to have to step up to the BBR package of the club, and you can't get the Brembos in the States on the Miata, on the GT trim. So I find these brakes to be a weak point on my Miata. The club is going to be better, but it's still a weak point on the vehicle. The 86 definitely has much better brakes, feels better to stop. The styling, that's going to be in the eye of the beholder. I think both are attractive cars, especially at the price point. And I like to talk about the price point because the 86 is more plain. It's just two trims. We got the limited and the premium, and I forget which one is which because Subaru and Toyota got the same trim names, but they switched. One is higher on one company and one is lower in the other company. This is the higher trim. It's going to be mid-30s. The Miata, and you can start off at like $29,000-$30,000 entry level in the GR86. The Miata starts at about $30,000 as well in the sport trim, but you're going to be missing the LSD in that trim. So most people step up to the club, and myself the GT, and we got the RF, the retractable fastback, or fast, whatever it is. It's going to be more comparable to the 86, but that's also more expensive. So when you put the BBR on the RF, it's going to be $42,000 fully loaded. Of course, with the Miata, you got the pure roadster experience. You can put the top down. That's why I got the convertible myself. And the RF is just a slim portion of that same experience, but the top down is a completely different experience. And here the RF has the blind spots. So you can get a lot of flavors. The club is the best value. You miss out on some features, but they're not deal breakers, especially to a lot of people. Like I myself, I like the creature comforts of the GT, but I wish I could mix it all together, which other markets do have. Toyota kind of makes up. They give us everything in two different trims. You want the base level, you want this. So it's much more simpler. So the club is going to be like $33,000, $34,000. My GT was about $37,000. And like I said, if you get the RF, that's a few more $1,000s. So both of these cars for a sports car is going to be a phenomenal value. Whichever way you go, you cannot lose. You get the best experience in cars that cost $100,000. This experience can't be matched for the price at all. Even outside of the price, you can step up to a Porsche Boxster or Cayman, but you're going to be paying like 80 grand for a similar experience. Yes, they can come with more power, but if you don't care about the power, just get one of these and save the money. But if you do care about that power and you like GT4s or GT4 RS, go for that, especially if you don't like manuals. Like there are some people that buy the autos in here, and I'm not here to shame them at all. Not everybody's going to drive a manual, but these two are the cheapest manual experience that you can get. What about the Civic Si? Yeah, I hope I was able to shed some light on which car would be better for you. Drop it down in the comment section. If you got more to add to it, let everybody see it and we'll talk about it. So I just want to help people make the right choice with their money to buy the right car for them. So that's all I got to say about that. Hope you all enjoy. Don't forget to drive safe. Obey the law. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.